Next we've got Dick van den Dool. Dick has over 25 years of experience in transport planning and currently is the Director for Active Travel at GTA Consultants. Dick's based in Sydney. He's been charged with expanding GTA's presence in active travel in other jurisdictions, assisted by GTA's Melbourne Active Travel team. Today, Dick's going to provide a quick overview of recent active travel initiatives in Sydney and beyond.
Well, it'll be a very quick overview. I'll talk about 7 different things in Sydney. I've given me 7 minutes, so 1 minute each. Here's our great Burke Street cycle lane. You may have heard of that. It's a 2-way separated pathway on one side of a collector road. But we've done many other things in Sydney. We've done Burke Road, not far up the road. We've done Epping Road. And we've done some much cheaper facilities. It's the red button here. Simply paint on the road. Again, a 2-way cycle separated from traffic, but only by green paint. One of the great outcomes of Burke Street is the complaint was from the local road safety committee. The children are riding unaccompanied to school. Is that a complaint or is that a great outcome? A fantastic outcome, isn't it? So this next big thing is shared paths. Shared paths are always a compromise. You can hear I'm from Holland, not just from Sydney. I have a Dutch accent, not a Sydney accent. What? Definitely, yeah. In Holland, you'll rarely find shared paths. You will not find them in urban areas. In Australia, we have a need to build those. It basically is a compromise, a stopgap measure, to provide facilities because we don't have enough cyclists, we don't even have enough pedestrians. But we can only build them in areas where there are low volumes and low speeds. There was a big debate recently in the press in New South Wales with discussions about licensing, about speed limits on pathways, about police enforcement on the pathways to make sure that the speeds don't get exceeded. At the same time, what you can see is if you actually provide the education side, it actually works. People stop complaining. You tell the cyclist you have to give way to the pedestrians, you tell the pedestrians the cyclists have a right to be here, and it works, at least to a large extent. Then we've got a special project which we'll talk about in a minute. There's also a new inquiry going on. We've had a number of inquiries recently saying, should we have a new government like you have, should we remove 240km/h speed limits in school zones and in the high pedestrian activity areas? Luckily, they decided it was a wise idea to keep those school zones because it's a real winner. It really makes a big difference in keeping those speeds down. I think Jan and some of the others have been saying the same thing. Makes a big difference. The current inquiry by the New South Wales Parliamentary Committee is on powered vehicles on footpaths, mobility scooters, pedal bikes. That's the next big outcome. We have to wait for them to see what they say. But here's the special program that the City of Sydney worked on. You see some standard facilities here, directional signage, the regulatory signage, the special educational signage that tells people how to behave on these paths. But here's the big change that you can see in many shared paths in Sydney now. It's a blue line on the edge. It basically informs bicycles that they have a right to be there. It tells the pedestrians they have a right to be there. And these signs here help tell the bicycles actually have to give way to the pedestrians. One of the big challenges was, as you can see my little devil here, in cycling and walking, the devil's in the detail each and every time. So you see my little devil coming around from time to time, and you have to look at the details. The detail here is about a 1.2 metre path, which is a shared path. The standards say we really need to go to 2.5 metres. I reckon you can do it here because we have a safe flush run-out zone. Research we've done, quite new research, in this case about mobility scooters. We looked at a whole stack of different crash patterns from the New South Wales Roads and Traffic Authority. Here's the outcomes. People crash on their mobility scooters when they emerge from the footpath. The majority of them crash at that point. You know why they emerge from the footpath? Because there aren't any. We don't build enough footpaths. Similarly here from driveways. They get off the driveways because the footpath doesn't have a curb ramp at the intersection. They come out of the driveway. Here's some research, in fact, not quite in New South Wales, but in Canberra. Maryland has done work in Canberra as well. But we looked at a huge amount of data from the ACT police, from the hospitals. And here's some of the outcomes. Again, Jan mentioned these intersection crashes for cycling, and Mark mentioned as well, are a really, really big problem. Not just in Australia, but around the world. So if you go and make it safer for cycling and focus on the intersections, then guess what happened too? Manoeuvre from the footway, manoeuvre from the driveway. So again, there's a commonalities with pedestrians or mobility scooters. Here's some other research. This is about shared separated pathways along collector roads, for example. This is research from all around the world, 5 or 6 different organizations, and they all say if we do it right, here's my little angel, not just a devil's little angel as well, if we do it right, it actually makes it safer, these separated pathways, so go and do it. But we had a lot of resistance from it. So why on earth are we building separated pathways? Because they're dangerous. There's all this research from all around the world saying these are all dangerous. But look at this. All this stuff is really old stuff. Look at this here. Here's my button. All the supportive stuff is much newer. So we've engineered out some of these problems. You still need to be very wary of intersections and driveways. But you can engineer these problems away. I'll speak very fast because I only have 7 topics in 7 minutes, right? So here's my little devil again. There's a real big problem that we don't design things according to our standards. It's a big drop-off. We do have standards. We need to design to them. They're there for a reason. Sometimes you have to use your noodle. I say there's enough use your noodle. Think about it. And you don't always have to follow the standards. This is pretty obvious, isn't it? Here's another standard I presented about 6 months ago to a group of insurance companies. These are the photos from the insurance companies. They're paying out millions of dollars for these claims. There's an unprotected culvert next to a pathway. What's that? Would you like to run into that? What's that? Where's the chain? The chain is right across the path. Come on, give us a break, guys. How can we not survive that? I need to talk even faster. and there's an isolated bollard. Again, we have standards for it. So here's the outcomes from that. Even in Holland, they have big problems with it. I want to quickly talk about this court case in Queensland because it contradicts what some of the other people are saying. We'll have a read of the slide a bit later on. But it really supports, the courts in Queensland are supporting kids walking on the roads, even emphasising the fact that not only do the drivers have a greater responsibility than the pedestrians, it's even more the case when we're looking at pedestrians, younger children. Here's what they do in New Zealand. Even in existing roads, build footpaths on both sides. It's a really big issue. We need to do it. They haven't been doing it. Finally, I run a training course in New South Wales and in an ACT, and we've designed a similar training course for cycling and walking in Queensland, but they run it internally at main roads. I think, Alistair, you need one here to help teach our great professionals in this room how to better design for walking and cycling. Here's my team.